back to Osmo Bricks and Cars. In today's video, for a continuation of my Star Wars sets from each year, this is the top 10 for the year 2000, and there were again quite a few good sets. I would say I preferred some of them from the year before, but just because there were more of the bigger ones, but I think still it came with some pretty good sets. So let's just get right into it. So first at number 10, I have the Star Wars Pod Racing Bucket set. I think I put this down here just because it's not a super detailed set, but still I think it's cool with coming with some more pod racers, and then a few figures. I think it's really good that LEGO made this, and I think it would have been cool if they did like things like this with newer Star Wars sets, or Star Wars themes. And then at number 9, I have the original Trade Federation MTT, which if some of you have seen the more recent ones, this probably is the worst of them all. But I mean, it's hard for it to beat the other ones that came after it, just considering how blocky it is and how many different colors are used on it. But it comes with a good amount of battle droids, which is nice, and I would say the shaping is pretty good for when it came out. Next, at number 8, I have the Slave One, which really the thing that this suffers from is just being so blocky. The Boba Fett figure is a very sought after figure now, so for people that were alive in 2000, you definitely had a chance of getting it, where people that were born after that don't really, it would just cost a lot to buy on the aftermarket. But I also like the printed Han Carbonite piece. I think that's a really good cool printed piece that came in this set as well. And then at number 7, I have an A-Wing fighter. I think for when it came out, it was a really good looking set. I think it's scaled pretty well. Honestly, do figure. Not too big, like some of the newer ones I would say are a little too big. It came with then another figure also, like a Rebel Mechanic and a little crate. But I think overall for its time it was a pretty good set. Then at number 6, I put this above that, just above the A-Wing, just because I really like the Luke figure and the Han figures. I do think the build's decent. It's pretty simple, but there isn't too much to the desert skiffs from that movie, and I think it's cool how they made kind of a plank here. I think that's a good choice of how they did that for when it came out. Then at number 5, I have the Millennium Falcon. Well, part of it's the size of it, but also it comes with a good amount of figures. It comes with the figures that should come with it, being Chewbacca, Han, Leia, Luke, R2, and C-3PO. I think it would have been good, though, also if it came with Obi-Wan. But I think it's really good for when it came out. I like how they used these big printed pieces. I think that was good for then. That was pretty good and cost effective. I don't really care for the cockpit, but that's just because of this little area isn't really covered by anything. But like the guns where their place is accurate. This dish is pretty accurate. There's some printed pieces here too, and some more printed, another printed piece here, probably one over there as well. I think it's pretty good considering when it came out. Of course, it wouldn't meet up to today's standards, but I think it's still a good set. Then at number 4, this is me being kind of biased just because I own this one, but I really think that this is a pretty good set with the 2 Gungans, one being Jar Jar and another being a Gungan warrior. And they're 2, I forget what the name of this animal is, but 2 of those, which are unique molded pieces that I don't think have been used since then. I think it would be cool if they did a set like this again sometime in the future just bring back kind of this and maybe do an updated mold with like eye printing and stuff. But I think, and it came with like a little cart, but also something from having the actual set that's cool about this one and a lot of the older sets is that they showed you kind of alternate builds for each set that weren't exactly Star Wars based, but I think was cool that they did back then, and I think would be cool nowadays considering how many people try to make their own alternate builds of sets. So I think that'd be something cool. And then number 3, I have the Flash Speeder, which while it comes with one figure, I think, considering I think this is like one of the only times they made this from the Phantom Menace movie. I think they did a really good job. It looks very accurate, even considering that it came out in 2000. It has a little turret on the back, a little gun, then the 2 engines on either side, can fit 2 figures, and it has a Naboo security guard from, I think. Then at number 2, I have the B-Wing at Rebel Control Center set. I think it's pretty cool how it came with a little side like build of a Rebel Control Center with a like mechanic and astromech, some like transport thing, and then the B-Wing, which I think they did a pretty good job with overall. Like the shaping is pretty accurate. I think really there isn't too much to complain about for when it came out. But you can see some of the technique and stuff that people wouldn't like nowadays. But I think overall it's a really good set, and especially with having the extra build. Then at number 1, I have the Trade Federation ATT. I really like all the printed pieces that are used for this. It comes with the right amount of droids, I think, and I think they do a really good job with the cannons and getting the shaping right. This is a pretty square here, but I think overall it's pretty good for the time it came out, and I think it gets across the vehicle correctly. And yeah, so I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Can't wait to see you guys.